Hi, this is Hiruni Perera from First Capital Holdings PLC. This video will contain a recap for the month of September 2021. Let me share the screen first. So this is the content of this report. And in terms of the economic update, Central Bank has requested to consider extending the further concessions to the borrowers who are affected by COVID-19 up until 31st December 2021. So especially accordingly, borrowers obtaining this concession shall start to repay their existing facilities from 1st of January 2022. So bankers are expected to give priority to the request made by borrowers, especially in the micro SME category. Moving on to the inflation. Month-on-month inflation recorded at 0.4%, while the value of food items has recorded at 0.3% and non-food items at 0.6%. In terms of the YOY inflation has decreased to 5.7% in September 2021, whereas YOY inflation of food groups has decreased to 10%, while non-food group has increased to 3.8%. So when we analyze inflation, month-on-month inflation was contributed by 0.09% from food items and 0.38% from non-food items. Within the food items, increase in value changes were reported for dal Mysore, bread, chicken, big onions, and etc. And in terms of the non-food groups, increases in value changes were reported for the groups of health, education, housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels. Moving on, YOY inflation for the September was recorded at 5.7%, and it was contributed 3.14% from the food items. When it comes to the NCPI index for August, it has decreased to 6.7% compared to July, and decline in inflation was mainly driven by the non-food commodities, while food commodities recorded an increase relative to the last month. When it comes to the M2B and the credit growth, so private sector credit continuously surged in August as well, and it recorded at 134 billion, while state credit reflected a net borrowing of 164 billion. In terms of the foreign reserves significantly declined to $2.6 billion in September, following the high debt repayments and inadequate inflow of foreign currency. And market liquidity witnessed significant fluctuation in September. So at the beginning, liquidity contracted due to the implementation of SRR requirement on deposits. However, towards the end, negativity of the liquidity declined due to the increased CBSL holdings and term reverse repo by CBSL. When you look at the currency movements, so rupee appreciated compared to the US dollars, and also it appreciated against other currencies in September 2021. When you look at the government securities, so total maturities amounted to 250 billion. Total new issues, including the T-bills and T-bonds, amounted to 141 billion. So there was a total deficit of rupees 108 billion. And CBSL holdings continue to increase, and it increased by 117 billion in September 2021. When you move on to the Treasury bills and bonds market, Treasury yields significantly increased during the month, especially due to the mounting pressure on yields quoted by the market participants due to the uncertainty and also negativity in the liquidity in the system. And also one thing to mention that yields of 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year peaked at a 14-month high. So when you move on to the AWPR and AWDR, AWPR continue to rise while AWDR remained broadly unchanged. Therefore, interest spread of 1.17% recorded for the September. When you look at the external sector, exports for July recorded an increase of 1.7% to $1.1 billion, while growth was led by increase in industrial and agricultural exports. So when you move on to the imports, despite all these import restrictions, import expenditure continued to increase, and it increased by 32.2% to $1.7 billion in July, mainly driven by all main categories of imports, although it was primarily led by imports of intermediate and investment goods. So therefore, balance of trade amounted to US dollar 606 million. And balance of payment for Jan to July amounted to US dollar 2.8 billion compared to Jan to July amount of minus 1.3 billion, recording an outflow of US dollar 1.5 billion for the month of July 2021. And worker remittances declined to US dollar 453 million with a declining of 35.4%, while earning from tourism in June 2021 improved to US dollar 3 million, although Jan to July amount declined by 96.2%. And on a positive note, tourist arrival number continued to increase and it recorded at 13,547 in September 2021. And the large source markets were India, Pakistan, and Germany, followed by United Kingdom and Russia. The global markets recorded a mixed sentiment during the month of September 2021. That's all regarding the economic updates for the month of September 2021. And please join us next time for further updates. Thank you.